Hi, my name is Ariana Siguenza, and I am in a group with Ashley Diaz-Stifel, Jimmy Nieves, and Sheridan Peters. For our final project, my group decided that we would research the possible correlation between gender and job satisfaction during a global crisis. In our original group discussions, we did not have this idea, but it but it formed as we did the journal groups and further research. Our original idea was to find a few separate correlations. We had aimed to find the correlations of pay, gender, and age with job satisfaction. In Parker and Brummel 2016, it was found that higher job satisfaction levels were more associated with higher income levels, and in Coalition 2019, it was assumed that men would have a greater overall happiness compared to women. In reference to one of our original correlation ideas, Mahatni 2018 found that older workers were often more satisfied with their work and a positive attitude mattered more to them. After preliminary research, we developed the hypothesis that during the global crisis of COVID-19, women have a higher level of job satisfaction than men. Our participants included 105 females, 53 males, 4 non-binary individuals, and 1 who preferred not to disclose their gender. The total age range was 16 to 62 years, with a mean of 25.26 and a standard deviation of 10.53 years. The men ranged in the same, but with a mean of 24.49 and a standard deviation of 9.98 years. Our female population ages ranged from 17 to 58, with a mean of 25.48 years and a standard deviation of 10.41. On the following slide, you can see a pie chart of our gender percentages, as well as a chart breaking down our participants' demographics. In order to get a wide range of demographics, we used a commonly used racial ethnic categorical question and left an option of other in case it was necessary. 79% of our participants identified as either white Caucasian or Hispanic/Latino. 14% identified as Asian, 2% as Pacific Islander, and 1% each for the remaining categories, as well as inputs to the other category. To conduct our survey, we used an online self-report survey like in the Parker and Brummel 2016 and Horace and Williams 2019 articles. Our survey was compiled of the 36 original questions from a job satisfaction survey published by Spector 1985, as well as 8 separate questions specifically designed for the added factor of incorporating COVID-19 into our research. Each member of our group posted our survey on our individual social media accounts, as well as sent a direct link to our individual family and friends. We left the survey open, allowing for responses for a total of 2 weeks. With the majority of our correlations, we calculated them by taking a sum of the individual's JSS score and looking at them against the various categories. The first correlation we found was between gender and job satisfaction, an idea we drew from Coalition 2019. Our calculations showed that, at least with our sample, there was no significant correlation between gender and job satisfaction. With a t-score of 0.403 and a p equaling 0.69, the data came back with only a minor significance, making it so that our original hypothesis was not true. As shown in the graphs as well, the results for mean and standard deviation were very close in number despite the vast difference in sample size. The next 2 correlations we found were related to income. The first is the significance between annual household income and job satisfaction. The correlation was found in the same way with 2 comparison groups of 0 to 99,000 a year and 100,000 or more a year as income categories. These yielded similar significance results as with the correlation between gender and job satisfaction. With a t-value of 1.454 and a p-value of 0.15, this was also found to be an insignificant correlation. Following this was the correlation between job satisfaction and hourly wage that came back with a statistically significant result. To find this correlation, we obviously had to do more work in categorizing hourly wage to compare with JSS scores. Below this, you will see results for the statistically significant comparison of job satisfaction and age. Both of the results had p-values less than 0.05, providing us with the result of statistically significant. As shown in the graph, generally higher pay rates are associated with higher job satisfaction sums, like the results found in Parker and Brummel 2016. In the next graph here, lower participant age is shown to cluster with a lower job satisfaction, whether that be at or above the mean. The next four results are in reference to our interest in COVID-19. The first being the correlation between job satisfaction scores and the amount of public contact someone had. With a p-value of 0.5261, the result came back as not statistically significant. This was done on a 6-point scale with no neutral answer option, giving us a mean answer of 2.72, a median of 3, and a standard deviation of 2.03. Following this, we found the correlation between job satisfaction and how affected you are by COVID-19. We found that the two have a negative but statistically significant relationship, meaning that the higher someone's JSS score was, the less they were affected by COVID-19. In this graph, you see that the amount of public contact someone has right now is pretty evenly distributed among the answer options, and there is no prominent difference in JSS scores at any of the answers. Our next graph shows the negative correlation between JSS scores and how much someone is affected by COVID-19 that I mentioned earlier. The following two results are correlation findings between JSS scores and the gender's level of impact from COVID-19. As you can see, both have negative, statistically insignificant results. In the following graphs, you see that the results are much too spread out for a significant relationship to form. Had we more time to collect more responses, these results might have changed to be more negative or could have evened out more. But we only had a certain amount of time and thus must take what we get. Overall, this study was designed to analyze differences between genders in relation to job satisfaction during a global pandemic, specifically COVID-19. In using an online survey, we were able to reach a wider audience through social media while still maintaining social distancing regulations during this pandemic. Future studies can utilize a similar survey once the global pandemic ended to determine if anything has changed and to see if there is a stronger correlation that formed. In the end, our results did not support our hypothesis that women have a higher level of job satisfaction than men during a global crisis, since those results were deemed insignificant. We had no ethical concerns with our study, and a consent form was signed before participants were able to answer the questions, and as soon as they had completed, they were thanked and debriefed. The biggest problem that we faced in our study was the overwhelming amount of female responses compared to those of men. Potentially, if more men had participated, we may have had different or more significant results. Another issue that arose was that we failed to differentiate data between full-time and part-time workers, which could have had a significance in whether that person was satisfied with their job or how much they were impacted by COVID-19. In receiving feedback from some of our participants, we found that some volunteers were confused on the wording of our survey questions, and the potential answers that they gave didn't match how they actually felt. Overall, I believe that our study was conducted very nicely, and it was very rewarding for us to have at least one or two significant results. Following is our references that each of us used in doing literature research in order to come up with our hypothesis and to support what we discovered. And that is all. Thank you.